What up, Buckeye Nation? Welcome to the Buckeye Boys, where we talk about college football with real fans. I'm your host, Devan. This is your other host, Melo, and we got Bread Jackson below, man. How you doing, Bread?
I'm ready yourself.
Doing pretty good, man. Melo, how you doing?
Good, good. Another day above ground is always a good day, right?
Yeah, it absolutely is. And we told Buckeye Nation we're going to try to get Brett on here as much as we possibly can. So thrilled to have him back again tonight. We're going to go through our thoughts on the Michigan State game. Me and Mello already did like a little video on it. Didn't really get too in depth with it, but we got Brett with us tonight. So we're just going to dive right into it, man, and get started with it. What I want to start with is a lot of people are talking about the defense and the fact that they gave up all these yards in the first half and they did it in Marshall. And now there's this wave of people freaking out. Now, there are some people telling everybody to calm down. And I'm not one of those people freaking out. But at the same time, I can kind of see how it could make people a little hesitant. Like, dang, man, they were throwing all over us. They were averaging 10 yards a play on the first half. So, Brad, what's your thoughts to people that have that thought about wanting to freak out about our defense?
Well, first of all, you have those fans that's on all levels, NFL, college, high school, youth football, whatever the case may be. Listen, it ain't nothing to worry about. You gotta play 4 quarters of football. It is what it is. It all boils down to adjustments. You can't just play a bazooka mind frame in the first 5 minutes of the game. No, it ain't gonna happen. You gotta remember, people look at films on other teams. So guess what? They did what they're supposed to do. Like 2 weeks ago with Marshall. When you have a dangerous defense, they're gonna try to find all type of loopholes to do what they need to do to gain first down, gain yards, and of course touchdown. But it ain't nothing to worry about. It's football. If you never played the game of football, you don't have no knowledge of nothing. You just a fan with a chicken beat on your face. It's just like so it is what it is, boss man. So it is what it is.
Yeah, amen. Mello, what's your thoughts, dude?
I mean, it did seem like they were running on us, but when it's all said and done, they averaged under 3 yards a carry, or like 2.1 yards per carry. So I mean, that's pretty daggone elite. Um, so in terms of like Brett just said, everything is scripted. I saw Lathan Ransom go on the Bobby Carpenter show today, and he was talking about you have to realize the first 15 plays are scripted, and these are Division I scholarship athletes as well. And like he was saying like on the routes, they were expecting different routes, and they were trying to basically the DBs were trying to run the routes for the wide receivers, and then they put a wrinkle in it, and they broke off a route and ran a different route, and that's why it seemed like they were creating so much separation. So like, I mean, they fixed it and they shut it down. They stopped playing off press coverage and started pressing closer. So I mean, they
Yeah,
fixed it. I'm not
yeah.
worried at all.
Do you know how many yards they had rushing?
It's like
47.
40 something.
47 yards. And y'all crying about that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
hey,
Man, the fans are nuts. You know this.
hey, hey,
Oh, real
listen.
Buckeye nut.
Hey, I'm telling you, dude. I'm gonna be honest. Like I said, when I was watching the game live, my emotions, my chicken beak, like like Brett said, dude, it's a chirping away, dude. Because I never played football. I'm not. I don't have that feel of what it's like to be out there on the other side of it. All I have is the fan perspective of it. Now, I want that other perspective. I want to be smarter. And that's why I talk to people that have played the game before. I sit back and listen to people that have played the game before. And me as a fan, what I noticed was it's like, okay, they're getting all these yards, but then, Hancock strips the ball. And I heard a lot of people saying, yeah, we got lucky. Nah, man, I don't call that luck. I call, all the players say all the time how much they work on that in
Yeah.
practice. So it's like, yeah, they bent, but they got the fumble recoveries. They got turnovers, and look at the scoreboard and look at the total yards at the end of the game. So it's like, we can complain all we want about the first quarter and the passing yards they had, but what was the score at the end of the game? You know,
38-7.
it's like, dang, man, like we dominated. No, there was maybe 1 minute of the game where I was like, "Ooh, dang, is this going to be a game?" But then dude, our offense gets the ball and does what they need to do. So, I mean, overall, it's like I don't, at sitting here right now, I don't have any concerns because, like you said, Brad, the adjustments that were made. So let's get into those because you come out. I think it started like towards the end of the second quarter when they get the ball back and they just absolutely shut them down. A little bit more press, but what's the difference when like the D line all of a sudden seems like they start to get like pressure on the quarterback? So how can they go the first quarter and something? Is it that they need to warm up? Is it that they're getting the patterns down of the other defensive linemen, or what is it?
It first of all, it falls down to the formation. Like some guys that I see, they call different signals and they tell the other guys to watch this, to watch that, and it go from there. Now, in this game here, the defense did what they supposed to do. Now, again, linebackers came through this game. The linebackers came through, they did their job. The ones who had a problem in this game was the DBs. Everything was like a checkerboard, versus chess. But that's the thing that when you play your opponents, they gonna try to do everything to like diminish you. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, man, it's nothing to worry about. It's just that you have to take different looks, and once again, you got to play 4 quarters of football. Everything changes as you go. Now, it'll be a problem if you don't adjust. Then you can raise sin, whatever the case may be, what you want to do. But you got, first of all, you already at the game. You got to now when you're in the game, you got the game come to you now, and that's what they do. Let the game come to you because you already there already. So the party had just begun. So go ahead and finish what you need to do and finish on a good note. That's it.
Yeah.
So the interesting thing for me, I know it's like a lot of people who try to complain about the D line. They haven't been doing it recently, but in the beginning of the season they were doing it right, and then now it's the linebackers. But if you look at it, our D line is creating the most QB hurries and pressures in the entire nation. Number one, I think it's like
45%.
45% without
Mm-hmm.
blitzing. So obviously we have the best D line in America, which we already knew. I just think that our standard as fans are so high and what we want to see is so high that it's kind of unrealistic, to be honest with you. You know, as much as we hate to call us buck nuts, I mean we are. We're just kind of unrealistic. We want perfection every time. We want to score like Devin said. We want to score within 2 plays every possession, and we want to turnover or sack every possession on defense, and that's just not realistic at all.
Yeah.
Now check this out. Now Sonny Styles had 6 tackles. Shaq Sawyer had 5. JT had 3. Now watch the D line. D line had McDonald had 3. The linebacker Reese had 3. Milton had 3. And then you had Colin Simon had 2. Then
Mm-hmm.
Ty Hamilton had 2. CJ Hicks had 2. I like it, man. Now if you come out of game with 0 tackles at the linebacker, man, we have a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you, we have a problem. So D line doing their job. It's just the linebacker have to finish the deal. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's really interesting that you brought up the linebackers like that and said that they come through because as I'm watching the game, and now I already know when I'm watching that Sonny Styles went from safety to linebacker, and that's a lot to gather and a lot to learn. But from where I stand, and now where I stand as a fan, again, never played football, but I also hear a lot of other people that seem to, at least speak like they know the game of football a lot, say that Sonny Styles is out of position a lot and he's late on things a lot. And, here I heard a show today that said, hey man, we need to back up off of him. The dude is doing pretty darn good for going from safety to linebacker, and he's only 4 games in,
Thank you. Thank
you
you.
know. So that's kind of the perspective I'm leaning towards now. Is like, okay, we're 4 games in. If you watch, once that target gets on somebody's back on the field, and the Ohio State fans start looking at them, oh my God, watch out, because you make one wrong step to the left or to the right, it's over. They're just, and I do it sometimes as well, but that was interesting that you said that. Melo, what's your thoughts about what he said about the linebackers coming through and Sonny Styles? And you know what's being said about
Yeah,
Sonny
so
right now.
I saw Jim Knowles' presser today. I don't know if you guys saw it.
I haven't
And it
watched it
seems
yet.
like even the beat reporters are starting to ask questions that all the fans are asking. So they flat out asked him, like, how do you feel about Sonny's progress this far during the season? Do you feel like he's where he should be? He's like, absolutely. He was like, he said, like, when Sonny makes mistakes, you have to realize he's just starting there. Said when Sonny makes mistakes, that's coaching. If he's in the wrong gap or he ran the wrong route, the wrong coverage is coaching. They're like, he's learning right now, and they say he's a specimen, basically, and his ceiling is so high, and that he's learning. It's only his 4th game, so like they're like he's going to keep getting better and better. And when he gets everything down, it's going to be phenomenal to see. He leads the team in tackles.
It's gonna be scary.
Yeah.
It's gonna be scary, bro. Like, for real. Look. Okay, check it out. Okay, you go from DB to linebacker, right? But you gotta put the play call and signal when they come in as well. So he's just not gonna sit in that box. He got to come out that box as well. And a lot of people don't understand. They just worry for him. Basically what the fans trying to, they find act like he's AJ Hawk, Laurinaitis. Those guys there was monsters. But guess what? That football is different than the one that is now.
Oh yeah.
Everybody run a spread offense.
Yeah.
Listen, they run a speed offense. This ain't no I formation, this I formation, that no wishbone. No, this thing is super fast. And man, listen here, man, that kid gonna be good, man.
Yep.
How many games? 4 games down?
4.
Oh
Yeah.
man, they got a long way to go in the playoffs too.
Yeah.
And Jim
Good,
said they also played Sonny. They said we're asking him to do a lot. We played him at Mike, Will, and Sam in the Michigan game.
Close, man.
So
Yeah.
within the 4th game of ever playing linebacker, I think he's excelling.
Yeah. Now let me ask you this. Do you think is linebacker like more in the spotlight on defense than most others, as in when a linebacker, it seems like linebackers are making mistakes more when they're really not, because they're covering that part of the field that teams like attack a lot, and they're asked to cover like more ground in that area. So, is that a true statement, or is it just, are all the positions kind of equal in regards to they got a responsibility, fill that responsibility?
Everybody have a level from sideline to sideline. Everybody got their responsibility from sideline to sideline. D line set the tone. Like I said again, it's each level. You got the D line, you got the linebacker, and then you got the rainbow or the DBs. Everybody got their levels, but at the end of the day, the spotlight is on the D line, which they're doing their job. Now, the shadow is the linebacker. So guess what? Now they get the spotlight because they're not filling the holes of what they need to do. At the end of the day, from the Marshall game and this game, totally big difference. Totally big difference. I like them in the Michigan State game versus the Marshall game. Even though they got it together down the line in the game. So listen, I'm loving it, man.
So why do you say that? Why do you prefer how they played in this game as opposed to the Marshall game? What was different for you?
Because the Marshall game, they were too far back. And then when you too far back, you got to gain grounds. So for an example, if the D line get 5 yards upfield, that's an extra 10 yards for the linebacker. So the linebacker got to wherever the 5 yards at that the D line start off at, that's where the linebackers need to be at. You know what I'm saying? Versus this
so
game.
you were saying they're playing too deep.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Got you.
Interesting, because I would have. That kind of makes sense, because honestly, since there's levels to this game, if the linebackers played closer, it looked like the DBs played way further back this game than they did normally.
That's fine because they're DB. They're supposed to play the pass regardless of what.
Yeah.
If Coach No don't send no blitz for any one of those DBs, you got the responsibility of a DB. You got to play pass automatic. If you don't go on no blitz, you play pass automatic. That's a DB responsibility. That's fundamental right there.
Yeah.
That's number one. Linebackers supposed to read the run first, and then if they don't run, then they drop back into their zone or whatever the case may be.
Now, you answer this however you like, but I really want your opinion on this as well. So Will Howard throws the interception. Michigan State gets the ball on their 15 or their 20-yard line. They run one play, they score a touchdown. Now, I, as a fan, while I'm watching that, I look over at our DBs, and Iggy is 10 yards away from their receiver. And I'm like, they're going to throw it over there, and he's going to run in for a touchdown. So in that scenario, I know a defense can't be perfect, but would you say that was more of a play call? They were expecting the run, or is that a normal situation for a team to be in the red zone and for DBs to play that far off, or was it just like a one and out type deal?
You gotta remember, you gotta play. You versus the mindset versus the other mindset. So the OC for Michigan State, you got to versus the DC at Ohio State. So it don't matter how you put it. The goal is to score a touchdown, right?
Yeah.
And the goal is to stop the offense from scoring a touchdown. So it don't matter what signal come in. At the end of the day, the players still have to adjust to that play call and what's in front of them, and then make the best decision as possible.
Gotcha.
So my question: Who's having the DBs play off? Is that a Jim Knowles thing, a OG Walt thing, or are they doing that on their own? That's the first question I have for you. And then the second question, they asked Jim Knowles today in the presser, why were the DBs playing so far off? And he started going into it. He kind of rambled, and then he was like, "Well, just to put it this way, yes, they need to. We need to play more press man coverage, but we still have to mix it up." So the first part of the question to you is, who's deciding how far off are they playing, if they're playing press man or not?
Well, that's a gift and a curse. It's a coin toss at the end of the day because of the simple fact that it's all about communication. That between whatever Coach knows sending or the two DBs, they can talk across the field, hey, cover one, cover two, whatever the case may be. And they can do the 7 yards, 10 yards off. That's on them. That's what they agree to. You know what I'm saying? So it can be.
So you're saying the DBs are deciding that?
They can.
Okay.
I'm not saying that's what it was, but they can.
Okay.
If now on the flip side of that, now if Knowles is okay with it, that's what it's gonna be. Now if Coach Knowles go against it, then hey, you too far off. You play up a little more. But then again, you don't know when you play your opponents. Sometimes you have the guys who cannot run the ball, so they gonna try to make the playing field one side of the field, which is better for a defense like Ohio State anyway. You know what I'm saying? So it make it more better. So when you playing a team that throws the ball, it's time for an air show. You know what I'm saying? When you play a team that's running, it's time for the linebacker to tighten up. Time for the DN to outside containment, whatever the case may be, whatever signal Coach knows saying, you got to do your job. At the end of the day, the linebacker got to back up what needs to be that's going to be missed, and you go from there.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. So it go hand in hand.
But before we get too far ahead, I wanted to. We mentioned Sonny Styles, and we are in agreement that where he's at now is okay. It's good. He's sitting learning a new position. He's got a lot he played the Will, the Sam, the Mike, all of it. CJ Hicks. Would we put him in the same type of category as he's trying to learn a position, or maybe the dude's playing out of position? Now, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just out here talking. If we want to move on to another question, totally understand. But I ain't trying to put you in a spot. You know what I'm saying?
I'm good. I'm good. Well, with CJ Hicks, for what I see, I don't know what's going in the inside behind closed doors. CJ Hicks can play. That's one thing he can do. I don't know what's going on with his mindset. I don't know. I don't know if he had a position. I don't think he had a position. He's been there 3 years, so I don't know what's going on. I'm not trying to find out what's going on because that's none of my business. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, man, he's still learning. He's still a football player, and you never know what's gonna happen from going forward during the season and into whatever going forward. So it is what it is.
Yeah. That makes sense. I had, what else was I going to ask? I had another thought on my mind, but I completely, this. Part of my thinking when we saw like the soft coverages and something like that was that we are in the beginning of the season, right? We're only in game 4. We're playing Michigan State. So is it possible for a DC to sit back and try to experiment with a few things and maybe get their players used to playing a certain way for a team in the future? Or is it all just based off of what's right in front of them right then and there?
That's the thing. That when the experience come in that during the game. So you
Yeah.
gotta first of all you go to practice, right? You go to practice, you look at film and what you see on film, that's what you're gonna prepare for, right? So when
Yeah.
you get into the game time, you gotta know how you gotta adjust. You never really go into a game with the same plan mindset because it's going to change regardless of what. So I never seen a game or I never known a game that you can prepare for and then everything just be lights out. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Never in the history of sport. I don't care what it is. It's just, you're playing an opponent. Listen, if I was the OC, man, I'll bring out my. Listen, I don't have nothing to lose, so I'm going to bring out all my tricks to go against Coach Knowles, and that's what I'm going to do,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and vice versa. Because it's more harder on the defense than it is the offense.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
I'm gonna go back into the going to checkers and chess. Right now, Coach Knowles playing both. Same thing with Chip Kelly. Checkers and chess.
Yeah. Huh.
Checkers you go fast, chess you go slow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. It's kind of crazy because that we sit. I catch myself sitting here diving into all this stuff, and you just take it all back to the beginning. The score of the game was 38-7. They had 40 some yards rushing. They took care of business, right? And
They did.
also, I've watched the game 4 times now, and every time I watch it, I personally, I see the D line getting pressure, causing disruption, and the quarterback having to move out of the way and make it throw. That quarterback was very mobile, and they were calling a lot of plays to get the ball out of their hands fast. And there were several times where if he wouldn't have thrown the ball, it's over for him. There was somebody in his grill, right in his
So,
face the whole
you
time.
know what I find interesting about that? Jim Knowles addressed that too. He's saying like the D line is almost getting home. We just need to figure out a way for the DBs to hold up in pressure for one more second. And my thing is maybe don't play so far off. Jam them at the line a little bit, disrupt that route, and now give them that extra second.
Yeah.
Now check it out. I ain't look at the clip what Jim Knowles talked about today. I'm just going
Mm-hmm.
based off my knowledge of football because I played DB when I was in
Right.
school. You know what I'm saying? So when you know defense, you should know the D line, the linebackers, and the DB, which is the whole deep. And I know the whole defense.
Yeah.
That's how good I am with my knowledge. But hey,
Yeah.
come on, man. But they gonna be good. They listen. Y'all ain't. I'm keep telling y'all ain't seen nothing yet. Y'all ain't seen nothing yet. And y'all just wait. Keep on waiting.
Yeah.
Y'all gonna be on the roller coaster. Trust me.
Yeah.
I'm excited for sure. Now, move on the other side of the ball. Complete domination. You know, on the offensive side, Chip Kelly's scheme, some of the play calls. And you know what? Let me say this, man. I read an article. Um, what did I read? It was, I think it was it wasn't Joel Klatt. Who's that Alabama dude that
Paul
always?
Feinbaum.
Nah. Anyway, it was an article about like the top quarterbacks, and obviously Jalen Milroe, and they had like Will Howard way down, saying that Will Howard hasn't found his niche yet, hasn't found his place in the offense. I'm sitting here wanting to pull my hair out like, what are you freaking talking about? Like, look at what our offense is doing right now. He is, he disperses the ball properly. That's what he does. Like, that's his niche. Give the ball to the skill players and let them do their thing. And that's what, of course, every quarterback in the nation is going to make a dumb play and a dumb pass every once in a while. This is a game. It's football. You're not going to have, playing NCAA on easy mode. And that just ain't real life, man. I have been absolutely thrilled with Will Howard's play.
Same.
And I wouldn't trade him for Jalen Milroe. Melo, I wouldn't trade him for Quinn Ewers.
I would.
I know you would. But break that. Let's hear your thoughts on what you saw from the offense, Michigan State, Brad.
I don't have an issue with the offense. Matter of fact, I don't have an issue with the team. Listen, let me tell you something. You have so many weapons, man. So many weapons. You got so many. You got two of the best running back duos in the country, right? That ain't easy because one dude, it's all about ego and pride. And I salute Trayvon Henderson. Man, I salute that fella. You know what I'm saying? You got another guy come in from another elite university, the tag team with him. I love it. But then again, you have James People. That's another, and that's the transfer from Alabama.
No, he's a freshman from Texas.
Man,
True freshman.
Listen, they lining it up. Listen, I'm gonna go back to my son tweet. It almost makes sense.
Yeah.
But Will Howard, man, he's still learning the offense. Because remember, this is first year versus Devan Brown. Now, the thing is, Devan Brown should know the whole playbook by heart. I'm going to be honest.
Right. Yeah.
But you got to remember, pressure, bust pipes. Bust pipes. But Will Howard have a lot of experience. And he was at K-State. He beat Michigan 2 years ago. Listen, he got the experience. But he got so many weapons that he got to spread the ball. Look, you got Booker, you got Tate, you got Rogers, you got Inniss, you got JJ. Listen, he got so many, man. So that ain't easy, man. That is not easy at all. And then you have that one or that two guy who come off the bench, he gonna throw a little tantrum every now and then, But listen, you got to see what's in the front of you, man. It ain't easy. And sometimes I think, for me, I believe it's the rotation of the coaches. It's not the players, because of course it's not the players. So we're gonna put it on the coaches. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, but at the end of the day, you got certain play call for certain receivers, certain set, and whatever came. But Will Howard, man, I like Will Howard. I don't have an issue with Will Howard because he playing civilization football.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, I love Will Howard too. There's only one quarterback I would take over him. That's Quinn Ewers. But I mean, we had Quinn Ewers and we fumbled that, but it is what it is. But other than that, I feel like Will Howard fits the system perfectly.
He wanted to start over CJ Stroud, man. That wouldn't happen.
Well, of course not.
If he could have waited, then you never know what we could see right now. But listen, he's good. I like him too. But he too at that time he was too cocky. But CJ Stroud was the man. You can't go over that. You can't override that. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is.
It's a tough situation. So I know that JJ had a couple absolutely insane catches. We'll talk about that in a minute. But from where I stand, some of the most exciting things that I saw offensively was what we have been seeing already. But the fact that we saw it again, and I feel like the level just went up, was wide receiver blocking and running back pass protection. I mean, dude, Emeka Egbuka coming down and laying the truck stick on a linebacker for Q. I jumped up. I wouldn't care if Q would have fell down and got 0 yards. I would have loved
No, that was
play.
on Jeremiah's reverse 19-yard run.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, what?
His touchdown run.
Well, wherever it was, that they were blocking the entire time. And
yeah, you know what's crazy about that? They've been blocking since game 1.
I know. That's what I'm saying.
Week
I love
1, week 2, and then guess what? They get stronger at the time goes. So listen, I'm gonna tell y'all something. Brandon Inniss, man, his time coming. His time coming. It might
I can't wait, man.
It might be against Oregon. Listen, but it's coming. Just lay around for it because they have so many weapons, man. So many. So just lay around for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been wanting that. I've been wanting to see Brandon Inniss get a little more action on there because I'd love to see him get the ball in his hands and see what he can do. You know, they try to.
Dude, he's so electric.
I know.
He is so electric. He's like a perfect slot receiver, bro. Like, he has to play. You have to put him in. Like, with the starters, I don't want to see him going in with the third strings. I want to see him going in with the first string QB so you can really see what this kid can do.
I know.
He has heart of a lion, man.
I would love the opportunity to try to understand his mindset and where he's at mentally, being the type of receiver that he is with the receivers that are in front of him and him not getting that much opportunity this year. Honestly, if you would ask me before the season started, I would have guessed that, you know, he would get like just as many snaps as a Carnell Tate or an Emeka Ibuka. You know, maybe not JJ, because what JJ's doing, nobody can deny that. But it's like, for me, I want to see him in just as much as I see Emeka or Carnell Tate. It's like, dude, the dude is, let's let him do his thing in there. I don't feel like he's had that shot to do that. But when he does, he's a dog. You can just tell that. I mean, Ryan Day, I don't know how many times Ryan Day has said, when Brandon Inniss is on the field, you can feel him. That's what he says.
That's why he needs to be on the field more.
Yeah. They could disorganize a whole defense with him in there, and he didn't have to catch the ball. As long as his presence and he in a formation. Listen, you got JJ Megatron, you got Brandon Inniss, you got a Booker, and you got Carnell Tate in there at the same time, man. And you got Henderson or bro, that man, they gonna get a DC all time. Oh, man.
A heart attack.
That is a crazy. And then hold on. We giving all these guys praise. Let me tell you something. I'm a trenches guy.
Yeah.
So I play DB.
I'm glad you went there.
Without an offense, without an O-line, it ain't no offense, bro. I'm telling you straight off the bat.
And before you go there, I just want to point out something that Bread just brought up. He called JJ Megatron. Now you know where I got Optimus Prime from, because Megatron was already Calvin Johnson. He reminds me of Calvin Johnson when he was a freshman. Everybody keeps comparing him to Julio and all these other guys, but they don't remember Georgia Tech Calvin Johnson. That's who Optimus reminds me of, and that's why I went Optimus Prime.
Megatron was a beast,
wasn't he?
and he played on a wishbone.
Yeah, right.
Jet sweep offense.
It still kill you,
bro. What? Man, I never seen it a day in my life.
Right.
Until I seen Calvin Johnson at Georgia Tech. Man, like, wow, like, who is this guy? But yeah, man.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought up the offensive line, because they've been tearing the game up. And you know what?
O-line get all the praises, man. They get all the praises, all the glory, man.
I told Seth McLaughlin, I don't know how many times I've given him my like offensive MVP of the game. Like me and Melo always talk about like 3 players on each side of the ball, and I want to mention his name every time, because that dude in there, you know, when you listen to all the other offensive linemen talk in their press conference and all that, he's the captain of the offensive line, right? Yeah. And you can see him in there directing traffic and all that. But then you got, I mean, you know, we got Jackson back in there, and then you got the cool thing right now is you got Tegra and Austin Sareveld rotating in at the right guard position. And from what I see, when I watched Austin Sareveld come in, I was very happy with what I saw him doing in there. But
so what's your thoughts, Dev? Serville or Tegra?
I
Because you didn't answer that the last time. You put me on the spot and made me answer, but you didn't answer. I just realized that.
hey,
Get him, Melo. Get him, Melo.
hey, I'll just say it how it is. If I go with what I've been seeing on the field from a fan's perspective, never played a football or anything, I'm starting Austin Searvold. I'm putting him in the game, man. He started this, he was in there in the season. He got those reps, and now he's just taken off. He's with the flow of it. When he's in there, he handles business. Yes, he makes mistakes. Every position group, every player. J.J. Smith made a mistake and caused an interception. I mean, let's get real, people. Everybody's going to make a mistake. Like, we got to quit I got to quit it too, acting like these dudes can't screw up. But
I'm going
that's
to
just,
I
want to go
sheer size. Like, he come off that bus and he lined up, and the guard look at him like, oh, hell, this going to be a long day.
That's a tough question you asked me, Melo, because the potential Tegra with his size, golly, bro.
I just had to return the favor.
I know, bro. I'm going to get you back. You know it.
Yep.
I'm a Jackson fan, man. Hey, I love Donovan Jackson. Nothing against the other guys. Hey, but I love a solid O-line, and guess what? It's gonna get scary, man, down the line.
Yeah.
And one thing, and it seemed like he getting his rhythm back. But listen, man, I watched him several plays in that Michigan State game. Man, he was and whoever that guy was in front of him, he was mutting him, having dinner with him, and eating his food, taking his candy, changing his diaper. Man, he was annihilating him.
Yeah, man, that left side of the line is scary. Josh Simmons was destroying everybody.
Man.
He's just sitting there, throwing them down, and then just laying on top of them, spinning around on them. And I thought he was about to start breakdancing on top of them.
You know an odd thing I noticed watching the game several times about the left side? Watch them after the play. They don't stop. I mean, Donnie Jackson is driving people into the ground after the whistle. And so is Josh. And then the right side, sometimes you see it, sometimes you don't. Josh Fryer, a lot of the times, he's doing all right. He's doing his job. He's getting it done. But you don't see him doing that kind of stuff all the time. Now, I've seen him do it. But, yeah, that left side, right side's getting it done too. So offensive line.
He probably still has PTSD from last season when he pancaked the dude and then frog splashed him, and then they threw the flag on him, gave him personal foul. Like, that was the worst flag ever. I want to remember we were talking about that. We want to see them frog splash some people, get some personal fouls on the O-line.
Yeah, we did.
Listen, Ohio State is a target, man, so we can't do nothing stupid.
Yeah.
Hey, they waiting. And then we got Oregon coming up, man. They waiting for that game, cause man, and we gotta go to Eugene. It's gonna get ugly, bro. It's gonna get ugly, so we gotta be smart.
Yeah, especially with officiating this year. I mean,
yes.
Hey, Brad, did you watch I know you did. You watched the Miami Virginia Tech game, did you?
Listen here, man. Listen.
Be real now, because I know that you were a Cane before. Right? You were a Miami fan?
I ain't going back, man. I ain't going back. Okay. I'm a Buckeye. I'm a Buckeye.
Yeah, that's what I love to hear.
I love it. Love it. But did they make the right call at the end of the play, or did the ACC save their only hope for the playoffs?
Man, listen, that was a good game, but at the end of the day, man, Virginia Tech came to play. Them people came to play. Hey, I like Cam Ward. I like what I see with at the very, very moment, but that last game was the test. That was a test for them. The biggest test of the season for them. Listen, Virginia Tech could have beat them.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, Virginia Tech did beat them. They just gave Miami a chance. Once you give Cam Ward a chance, OT, 2 minutes left in the game, bro, we cannot do it. We're gonna lose.
Yeah,
you're gonna lose. Hey, he's a dangerous quarterback.
Yeah.
Before we get too far off topic, I would like to hear both of your guys' thoughts. I'm going to keep quiet because I just am. But we didn't talk about the
the tight ends very much on our offense. So somebody start. I'm not gonna say anything else. But somebody say something.
Okay, how about this? I like G Scott. Well, matter of fact, I like all the tight ends to be honest with you. I don't know if the number 2, the number 4, the number 17, the number 11 is getting all the praise and the glory. I don't know, and those guys in that tight end room is like losing hope. I don't know because sometimes they could be in a perfect position and then sometimes they'll drop the ball
Or
or
just fall,
misjudge the ball.
or
But
just fall on the ground.
but for some reason I don't know what's going on at all. But they gotta tighten up, man, because we gonna need them down the line. We gonna
Yeah,
need we gonna need them down the line, man. Like for real. But they need to tighten up for real.
yeah. Now, I mean, G showed up, in the passing game, and I saw him make a couple blocks, but I still can't. I get people slip on the field. I still can't get over the wide open third down play
The
with the
turf
slip in the
monster gonna always be there, bro.
ground. I
It is
know,
what it
but
is.
it just happened to the wrong position group. I mean, if
No, no,
Emeka would have,
no. What it is, you gotta lift up your feet. That's what it is. Lift up your feet.
dude,
Me, run your route correctly and pick up your feet. Take it.
yeah, yeah. Mello,
I'm
bro,
just
you
saying.
can't be over there being quiet, dude. You gotta say something. I said, both of you
Man, what
say
I'm gonna
something.
say is I'm gonna pound this table on my chest like Jelani needs to play. You gotta let him work through his issues. Just let him play. He has the highest ceiling. You let him play during these. If you get him a whole lot of reps during these first 4 games, maybe he's where you need him to be right now or closer to it. But he only took 5 snaps, 7 snaps that game. That's way too low.
Yeah,
And he was the
that's
number 1 tight end in the country last year.
His coming out, yeah.
Yeah. So he had high praise coming out and going into college. Yeah.
yeah.
He could
Listen,
ball,
I
man.
don't. Yeah, I know he can. I know he can. But I want to know what's going on in behind the closed doors. There.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's the thing
Yeah,
because it's showing on the field. It's showing
yeah.
on the game field,
Right.
which is it's not a good combination. It's just not.
yeah. Because at the beginning of the year, he was on the field a pretty good amount. I mean, there was one game when he had more snaps than any other tight end, I believe.
Yeah.
And now he's got the least amount of. I think I don't have it pulled up.
Significantly.
Yeah.
It's
So
not even like it's close.
yeah. So something happened for sure. But overall, man, I love where we stand. I think we got the best defense in the country. I think we got the best offense in the country. And I think we're going to handle business. I think we after that natty. Iowa's next. I'm going to love watching our defense play them. And we'll see. You got an opportunity for all these fans out there with their chicken beaks flapping about the defense. Iowa, it's the run game, man. It's stop the run game. So it's the D line is going to do their job. Linebackers are going to do their job. So I'm excited to see that game. Excited to see the rest of the season.
I got a good feeling this week game against Iowa. I think Brandon Inniss gonna run a return back. I don't care if it's
Okay.
kickoff. I don't care if it's punt return, but that's what I'm feeling.
Yeah,
I love that. I love
I
that
do
So
for
we
too.
CJ.
so we're gonna see what happens.
I
Yeah.
got a good feeling too. BTA, like my boy Devin Sanchez would say from North Shore High School, belt
Belt to
to ass.
belt to
It's coming.
ass. Oh boy, that's what he
It is
says.
coming. I smell body bag this weekend.
All right. I got one last thing before we wrap up, man. We can't stop a show without talking about it. The Big Ten
Mhm.
changed a rule for kickoffs because of the scum Minnesota game where the officials called Minnesota's kicker, one of their players, offsides when Minnesota recovered an onside kick. So they have came out pretty much admitted that that was the wrong call and scum skates by again with a freaking win when I don't feel that they really won on the field. So I'm going to be that dude to say it again. But I know that truth's going to come out, man. I don't think they're a very good team. I think they better watch out for Washington this year. But if either of you guys got anything to say about the old team up north and that call, and specifically what they're doing, we're not a team up north channel, but I'm over them. So
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. The whole Buckeye Nation. I know those y'all. Well, our rivalry. Listen, that's the last game of the season. We can care less about them right now. We gotta finish Iowa first with
yeah,
this upcoming week, and then we got a big one against
Yeah.
Oregon.
yeah,
We can't take none of those. Like Michigan, care less. Whatever it is. When that time
yeah.
come, but it's kind of crazy because I didn't see the game when that episode happened with the kickoff.
Mm-hmm.
But why would they change the rules in week 4, week 5? That's crazy.
So they came out, and I guess instead of one official being on the line to see if a player for the kickoffs offsides or not, now they put two there, and it was right after that happened because they went back and watched the replay and saw that it was the wrong call. It wasn't the right call. Like, that's a known thing. That's not me with the Ohio State glasses on saying Scum is getting lucky again. No, it's like a proven thing. Everybody knows that the call was wrong. And the point is what it did to Minnesota. Minnesota busted their butt, came back in that game. Those players busted their butt. They got an onside kick with chance to tie the game, and they did that. So the Big Ten came out with, that they changed the way they go about, offsides. But I totally feel you with, bro. We got to focus on Iowa, then Oregon, and when that game comes, that game's going to be here, and we'll be focused on them then. But I had to say my piece with that one more time. I'll probably say it again live, and then tomorrow on the live show, I'm going to bring it up one more time, and then after that, I'm going to bring it up again, and then I'm going to be done.
So, Brad,
Yes,
I got
sir.
a question. Have you seen Ryan Williams play, the wide receiver from Bama?
Ooh, that boy, that nice.
He is. So
That boy, nice.
they got this whole debate going between who's
With
the
with
best
him and JJ,
receiver.
right?
Yeah, you know who I'm
Listen,
picking.
hey, listen, man. I'm gonna tell you something. Everybody have their likes or whatever the case may be. I'm gonna tell you like this. The kid nice. I like the kid.
Yeah,
He with a great offense. He with a great quarterback. And then of course the OC make it better for him, right? But JJ Smith, he's physical. His IQ is very high. Even though he's 18, the other guy's 17. Hey, but at the end of the day, that kid is blessed to have talent
Mm-hmm.
at that age and play on a collegiate level at this very, very time right now. Hey, I salute him, whatever. But for me, I'm running with JJ.
yeah. For me, it's Optimus Prime, and one of the main reasons I watched Ryan Williams in pretty much all the games except for their first one. The USF one, I didn't see that one, but Optimus can run the entire route tree. He's 6'3", 40-inch vertical, 220 pounds, 4'3", 40, and he blocks. That is the biggest difference maker for me with him at the wide receiver position is his blocking separates and gaps Ryan Williams. So that's where I'm going. And then he took a hitch route 70 yards to the house. Like, who does that?
Right. And it's funny because I'm thinking right now, the SEC, they don't got no top notch DBs over there. They got their
No.
DB room is trash over
Uh,
there.
Yeah.
And guess what? I'm gonna say it again. They DBs are trash in the SEC. Yeah, I said it. Check me.
Yep.
yes, sir.
Absolutely.
I think we all know JJ's physical abilities, but the kid's demeanor at his age. I mean, he's got the demeanor of like a mature NFL wide receiver. Like, he's about his business. That's it. I mean,
Yeah.
listen to him talk and give his pressers. I mean, the thing that really, like, I knew he had that demeanor, but when it really sunk in is when, of course, the beat writers were like, "What'd you think about that interception? Did you think you're out?" He was like, "That was on me. That wasn't on Will Howard." And like, he just says it, it's over, it's done. So that says a lot about who he is, being that young, and and you can tell when he said it, he 100% believed it. He wasn't just blowing smoke. Like, that's what it was. He wanted to run a better route, and it was just a cool thing. So, all right, I think that's a pretty good show, fellas. I appreciate you. Anybody got any final thoughts before we shut her down?
OH.
IO.
Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Comment in the comment section below. We'll chat back with you. We're a fan channel. If you want to come on, you know how to reach us. With that, go Buckeyes, OH.
IO.
Oh.